Hello YouTube and welcome to GV's first impressions video for the summer 2018 season of anime. Because the summer season is well underway with some of the animes already on their third episode. So it was highly time that I looked back and give you my first impressions on the animes that I'm currently watching. First of all, there is one anime that I can't give you my first impressions on yet because it simply hasn't started yet. That anime being the third season of Attack on Titan. For some reason, the release date for Attack on Titan was about 4 weeks later than all the normal animes for summer 18. I think it's starting this weekend or somewhere next week. Let's then get to the anime that have actually started. Starting with two animes that had already begun before I uploaded my preview for this summer season. First, let's talk about Island. Now, I already mentioned it in my preview of this anime, but it is clear as day that Island is an adaptation of a mystery visual novel. It has all the traits of a visual novel, but for a mystery anime, it didn't have a bad start. I'm actually quite interested in the story, and also when your female lead is a cute white-haired girl character that reminds me a hell of a lot of Kanade from Angel Beat, and you automatically have my interest. The other anime that started early was Hanebado, or the Badminton anime. Now this could be one of my favorite animes of this season. I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. It is very dynamic, but for the development of our two main female characters, I do expect a quite stereotypical storyline, because previous sports animes have learned me that sports animes tend to go for the same kind of development for their main characters. Next, let's talk about the two animes that I had the lowest expectations for this season. Starting with Satsuriko no Tenshi, or Angels of Death. Now, the first 2 episodes of Angels of Death, they weren't bad, but they also didn't wow me. I think that for this anime, it is especially going to be the backstory of our main female character that is gonna have to carry this anime for me. The next anime is Shishisei no Subaru, or The Seven Senses of Reunion. Now for this anime, it's actually ridiculously easy to explain what this anime is about. You take the setting of Sword Art Online, you take the story of Anohana the flower we saw that day, and you merge those two together, et voila, you have The Seven Senses of Reunion. Because the story of this anime is like a 100% copy of the story of Anohana the flower we saw that day. Even the characters look alike. So this anime has its work cut out for it. It's gonna have to be hella good to impress me, because Anohana the flower we saw that day is an anime that I call a true masterpiece. From the lowest expectations to the highest expectations, the anime that I had kind of the most anticipation for was Happy Sugar Life. Now for Happy Sugar Life, only the first episode has been released yet, but from this first episode I can already tell that this is going to be one hell of a fucked up anime. The sheer contrast between very cute moe scenes and then some really fucked up dark scenes, that is to me very interesting in this anime. Also, this is going to be my very first yandere anime. I don't think I have ever seen an anime before with a yandere in it. So I am very curious to see how Happy Sugar Life is going to continue. Another anime that I had been anticipating, specifically for nostalgia reasons, was Cells at Work. Because Cells at Work really reminded me of a cartoon that I watched in my childhood, and based on the first 2 episodes, it is exactly that. It is of course a bit more anime style, but it reminds me a lot of that cartoon that I watched when I was a kid. Also, I knew that Japan had a thing for making all sorts of things cute, but I think with making platelets kawaii, I think they have reached a whole new level. For the final 2 animes, I had the same fear for them, being that they would be too edgy for their story. Now I am happy to say that for the first one, being Harukana Receive, that is not really the case. Yes, there is ecchi in this anime, but it isn't too much and it isn't overshadowing the story at this moment. Now, I am going to mention here the same that I said with Hanebado. Also for Harukana Receive, I think that the story and more specifically the development for the characters will be pretty stereotypical. Now for the other anime, being Granblue, it is a bit of a different story. As I posted on my social media, from now on I will be calling this anime Facepalm Blue, because that was kind of the feeling that I had when watching the first episode. To me, the comedy and also the way of animation is a bit over the top. It both reminded me of the one episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that I saw. And if I haven't mentioned this before, I am not really a fan of that type of comedy. So I don't really know at this moment how much I am going to enjoy this anime. On the other hand, this anime is going to give me an insight in the type of college life that I never had. So overall, I would say that summer 2018 is off to a bit of a moderate start. There are animes that had a good start, and there are other animes that didn't really impress me with their first episodes. At this moment, I would say that Hanebado and Cells at Work are carrying this summer season for me. But I am expecting that other animes like Happy Sugar Life will become more and more interesting as their story progresses in the coming episodes. And of course, we also mustn't forget that Attack on Titan Season 3 still has to start, and the second part of Steins Gate Zero has just started. So overall, it might not be that bad of a summer season. So that was it for my first impressions of the summer 2018 season of anime. I will thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.